everyone. My name is Oren. I'm the CEO of Zooz, and we are a payments optimization platform. And I'm very happy to be here today and tell you a little bit about it. So why do we need optimization of payments? That's a question I'm being asked pretty often. Well, if you look at the numbers, cross-border commerce does about $1 trillion every year. That's a lot of money. That means that people are shopping online pretty much everywhere. And they're shopping from each and every country. So that means that a lot of US consumers are buying stuff from China and vice versa. The problem with cross-border commerce is that there is a lot of decline rates. Banks are not approving the payments. They're also charging very high fees on each and every transaction. There's cross-border fees, there's currency conversion fees. That amounts to about $8.6 billion lost every year to merchants just because of these high fees and very high decline rates. So what can you do about it? Well, basically, we're here to optimize it and also make Benjamin Franklin smile. That's also a very good objective. So, oops, something's wrong in here. Okay, so what does our platform actually do? So first and foremost, we enable the merchants to connect through a single API to our platform, and our platform connects them to multiple payment providers from around the world. That is not a trivial thing because there's many payment providers that you can access in different parts of the world. So our system enables it in a very, very easy and seamless way. The second thing that we do is basically enable them to take a look at their data, see what's going on, see the trends. Why are their transactions being declined? And most importantly, we allow them to optimize the transactions. That means that each and every transaction in real time gets a decision whether it should be sent somewhere or declined, or sent to the most appropriate payment provider for that specific transaction, with the sole purpose of getting the highest acceptance rates and the lowest possible fees for that transaction. So we've been working for almost 7 years already. We have thousands of merchants on our platform, which we're very proud of. Some very big names, as you can see in here. We process billions and billions of dollars every year. But we're most proud of is the number of dollars that we were able to save for our merchants, over $60 million already savings in processing. And that's what we're here to do, is to optimize the payments. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So next up, we have Alex.
Hello. Good morning. My name is Alex. I'm the founder and CEO of TNG Wallet. TNG stands for the next generation. We're here to provide the next generation of financial services, financial inclusions to the unbanked populations around the world. And that itself is one of the most serious problems. Close to half of the world's population do not have a bank account. And in Asia alone, it's about 1.2 billion. Using our apps, you can open a bank account in 30 seconds. And it's just like carrying a global bank in your palm. We launched 2 years ago. We went through tremendous growth. For the last 18 months, we've been growing at about more than 50% monthly compounded growth. In our second year, we're already profitable. And we are expanding aggressively into other developing countries in Southeast Asia. Last 18 months, we grew more than 500 times. If you look at the faces of the unbanked, you guys are all very well banked. But there are many people who are unbanked. During the weekend, this is how it looks like in various offices. Our office were packed. And people also have to line up at the shopping mall below our office, queue up before they can come out. So why are these people queuing in our office? Because they need to do a one-time KYC process. We offer online KYC, they don't have to come. But surprisingly, they really like to come and queue up to see us. And we started in Hong Kong. We now expanded across 13 countries. We got licenses from the local regulators, and we launched another initiative to go global, which is Global E-Wallet Alliance. Sorry, where is the slide? Okay. Okay. Global E-Wallet Alliance. We welcome any e-wallet operators from around the world to join our alliance, and we make each other's e-wallet to roam globally. In other words, if you're holding and use an e-wallet in Hong Kong or Singapore, when you travel across different countries, you can use it for purchases, you can also withdraw cash, and you can also transfer money among each other on the real-time basis. This is what we do. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next up, we have Antonio. Warm welcome, please.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Adizah threatened to chop my head off if I take you more than 2 minutes, so let's get to it. So, CompareEuropeGroup. First of all, my name is Antonio. I'm the managing director and co-founder of CompareEuropeGroup. So, what is that we do? It's very simple, if only I knew how to change this. There you go. So, believe it or not, in many European countries, users cannot compare financial products, banking, insurance, and telco products. They can do it with hotels, they can do it with flights, but not with these products. So what we do is we basically bring transparency to the market for what's a very important product category for people. On the other hand of the equation, we have the banks, the insurance, and the telco companies, whom we help acquire customers, which is obviously very important. Basically, we help users along 4 dimensions. It's not only the comparison, but it's also the selection of the products. So we try to understand, for example, which loan products people will be approved for, or which broadband connection should we advise the user to get because they deliver a certain speed that the user needs. And then over time, we help them also get the product and manage the product. So the nirvana stage for us is one where the user can come on our platform to cancel, upgrade the subscription, renew the products, and so on and so forth. So just some numbers, because I know they are important. So we launched roughly 2 years ago. We're now present in 6 countries, in the Nordics, Denmark, Finland, and Norway. Then in Belgium, and actually in Portugal, which is obviously fantastic to be here today at Web Summit. We're going after a really, really big market opportunity. We're going after roughly 3 billion of market commissions when it comes to banking, insurance, and telco products. We have roughly 100 colleagues, 65 of which actually here in Lisbon, which is great, some of them in the crowd, which I see. Almost 4 million annual visitors after 2 years, and very, very impressive revenue growth. We were very fortunate to raise a 20 million euro Series A round last year, which I'm happy to talk about as well if you guys want, from fantastic set of investors from the Silicon Valley, Asia, and Europe. So this is it. My life.
Thank you very much. Your life is
good.
Okay. Please take a seat. Thank you very much. Next up, we have Dee.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dee Choubey. I'm the co-founder and CEO of MoneyLion. MoneyLion is a US-based digital finance platform. There we go. Sorry about that. So MoneyLion is a data-fueled digital finance platform. So what do? We started off in the online lending space, and we really moved over the last 3 years to become a digital finance platform for our users. Close to 2 million users in the United States use our platform. Over 1 million bank accounts have been linked to our platform, and over 250,000 loans have been facilitated on our platform. If you think about what we really try to do, we're not necessarily disrupting online lending, but we're building a technology company that uses a treasure trove of data to predict human behavior. We want to actually impact our consumers when they have inflection points around financial services. If you think about the United States, the middle 70% of America doesn't have $2,000 in savings. That's our target addressable market in the US, where we really try to bring private banking-like solutions to our masses. So today, you can go onto the MoneyLion platform, you can borrow, you can invest, you can look at your checking account, you can get advice, all driven through artificial intelligence and machine learning, and you can see rewards and security. We want to build the financial operating system for our consumers. What we're seeing today is that consumers join us to look at their credit score, but ultimately, when they have inflection points in their financial lives, whether they have a liability shock or an asset shock, we're able to provide them a loan product right when they need it, one click, approved. We can actually have conversations with our users and say, hey, John, we predict that you're going to run out of money in 10 days. Consider these 4 options. We started the company in 2013. We have offices in 4 cities: New York, San Francisco, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and Salt Lake City in Utah. Over the last 4 years, we've made significant milestones. We're over 200 employees today. We did a Series A year ago, and we're continuously raising capital. So I invite all of you all to download our app and check it out yourself. You can link your bank account and see all of your cash in stacks of euros or dollars. Thank you, and happy to answer any questions.
Great. Thank you very much, Dee. So thank you for your presentations, gentlemen. You're all in high-growth fintech businesses, and you've actually got through the challenges of finding your customer, product market fit, etc., and now you're running. As you know, raising investment is something that most founders, if you're a first-time founder and you haven't done it before, it can be quite tough and daunting. So as seasoned founders, what would you say your top tip for a founder who's about to go on an investment run to, what would your top tip be to them as fellow founders?
So I would probably start with the same thing that Nuno said couple of presentations ago. It's about tenacity, it's about the dedication, it's about believing that you can change the world. And if you believe it, usually it's very infectious. And a lot of times the investors like to see the dream, the sparkle in the eye of the entrepreneurs. And that's what they basically want to be attached to, because money only facilitates that realization of the dream. So this is, in my opinion, one of the first things that you need to do. Then, of course, traction, value, and so forth. But that's a given.
2 months ago, we finally raised our Series A. We raised more than 115 million US for the Series A, considered pretty large. It wasn't easy. For the first 2 years, we couldn't raise any money at all. So I have to borrow, I have to sell all my assets. I put in 47 million US, my own money, and bootstrap ourselves and build the business up. And we finally managed to raise the fund after we break even. We become profitable. And when I did my roadshow in US a few months ago, the investor asked me, why are you in a hurry to achieve profit? And I said, this is what every investor in Asia has been asking me. When am I be profitable, or how much money we are making? So the mindset for the investor in Asia is, how much profit are you making now? Versus the Western investor is, they are asking us to go after the market shares. So it depends on where you are, and the fundraising exercise and experience will be very, very different.
Yeah, I agree, first of all, with the points that our fellow panel made. I have 2 tips. Number 1, if you think it's going to take, let's say, 6 months, really budget 12 months, because it takes long and it takes tenacity. Number 2 is try to do some due diligence on who's on the other side of the table, who are the investors you're meeting, because they are after different things, right? So you need to kind of also tailor your pitch to who is on the other side of the table. So those would be my 2 tips.
Those are all great points. You know, the story of an entrepreneur, really, you have to beg, borrow, and steal. So the investors in my cap table that I really am close to is the first investor who put in a $300,000 seed investment in our company. So over time, we've raised over $650 million in debt and equity. But the person that I really looked to for advice is the first check that came in. And they had a small fund. And regardless of that, you know, the biggest specific advice I could give, in addition to everything everyone else said, which is tenacity and grit and all those things are super important, is to have mentorship, is to find that one person that's done it before, who's seen the trials and tribulations of Silicon Valley, that you can rely on. Because when you're the co-founder or the CEO or the president or senior vice president, you really, you only see the hardest problems in your company. And having that 1 or 2 person advisory committee in your head that you can really pick up the phone and say, hey, look, you know, we're running out of cash in 2 weeks. We just hired 17 people last week. What do I do? That's okay. And sometimes, you know, those are the conversations you have in your head anyway. So.
Great. Next is about talent. So you've all got teams. You're all managing quite a hectic schedule. So what things do you look for when you are hiring and bringing talent into your team, especially as startups are high-pressured environments? All of us are doing this today, but we've still got our day jobs to do. We don't turn them off. So what would be your top tips for fellow CEOs who are looking to hire top talent and talent that will also stay the course? What do you look for?
So my sort of a tip, I would say, we're very much into remote working. So regardless of the location, if it's a good hire, just take it. We have offices today in Berlin. We have offices in London and San Francisco and Tel Aviv. So basically anywhere that we can find good talent, we'll just bring them in and work on the ability to have remote working, fine-tune it, optimize it, make sure that it's working seamless, and then just go hire wherever you can. It's that simple.
For my case, I'm looking for someone crazy, hungry for business, hungry for knowledge. We grew from 3 people to more than 600 people over a period of 2 years. And we went through tremendous transformation. We're looking for people who wanted to keep obsoleting ourselves. And we keep going through something very challenging is the change management. Because every month, our role is totally transformed. That's why none of our people's name card has carry any title, because we keep changing title anyway. So it's a very dynamic environment. And to manage a 2-person company to 50 people to 100, 200, the culture, the way you manage it is totally different. You cannot keep using the same way in managing people. Doing the right thing, the right person will show up. Because the talent will also observe how the company is, the culture, and you cannot force them. You cannot, basically you will attract them to join your team.
Yeah, for me, again, it's 2 points. Number one, over-invest time in hiring. So budget time for hiring. I spend probably 20-30% of my time trying to find talent, because if you find the right people, they will free up time for you later on, right? So you can do other stuff. So that's the first. The second is, if you find someone that is really good, but doesn't fit culturally in the team, particularly early on, do not hire, because preserving the culture of the team, particularly in the early stage of the company, is extremely important. So I'd rather not hire someone good that doesn't fit. So those would be my 2 pieces of advice.
Yeah, absolutely. So the 3 C's are a driving force in our company as well. So culture, capability, and capacity. So anyone we bring in has to fit at least 2 of those 3 the buckets. The one specific advice I would give is look outside the city that you work in and that you live in. I think Owen, you made the point as well. When we started Moneyline, we immediately hired a staff in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So in the U.S., there's a war for tech talent, especially for those in the artificial intelligence and machine learning spaces. And the salaries for those people are going up incredibly fast. The AI talent are the new Wall Street traders in the U.S. So we quickly looked at ASEAN as a hub for building out our artificial intelligence machine learning team. Now we have 50 there, and all based on the idea that really let's democratize talent from just having it focused in New York or San Francisco.
Great. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, for your insights. And if you do want to talk to them, please talk to them after. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.